Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here with Saturday Night Shenanigans, Love After Lockup, Season 6, Episode 7, Don't Hate the Player, recap, and a little bit of tea for your evening. We are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. There are 10 episodes to Love After Lockup. This was episode 7. So, a lot of these storylines will be wrapping up very soon. And honestly, I am here for it because this season is starting to drag its feet. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a C minus. Okay? It's just ridiculousness. Let's hop right into this. So, first of all, Joey, you need to get in your car and drive as fast and far away from Michael as you can. Because, as you may or may not know, Michael did eventually violate his parole and he was arrested last July, about a month after filming. But Joey, at the time, he knew Michael was going to relapse, and oh boy, was he right. So we start off with um Michael's on the phone with a friend of his, and he's in the hotel room talking to the guy on the phone, and Joey walks in, and Joey's like, "Oh, who are you on the phone with?" And he's like, "My friend Jacob." "Have I ever met Jacob?" "No." "Is Jacob a good influence or a bad influence?" And Michael really just doesn't say anything. So we all know, once you're trying to live the sober life, associating with people, places, and things during your non sober life will most likely lead to a relapse. Michael says, even if I relapse, it's no big deal. What in the actual fuck? Are you kidding me? If you relapse, it's no big deal. Yes, it is. It is a very big deal. So Joey is really emotional because he sees the train wreck happening and he knows he should jump off the train and run as far as he can, but he's madly in love with Michael and he really wants to make things work. Michael, on the other hand, admits that he doesn't know how to live a sober life. He doesn't know how to be intimate sober. He doesn't know how to do anything sober, and it's really fucking with his head right now. So Michael is supposed to go with Joey to go to his brother's house and visit with the family. Now, if you remember from Love During Lockup, Joey's family isn't crazy about Michael, especially his dad, because they know that the last time Joey relapsed was with Michael. And Joey's dad, in particular, thinks that this relationship is a shit show. So, Joey is waiting at the hotel. Michael took off somewhere, and his brother calls him and he's like, "Hey, I'm at the hotel just waiting for Joey to come. I'm sorry, waiting for Michael to come. No, I don't know really where he is." And then Michael shows up and he's like, "Hey." And Joey's like, "Hey, what took you so long?" "Well, I had to do a UA, a urine test, and I failed it." And Joey's like, "What?" So he's been out of jail for what? 48 hours at this point? 24 hours? And he already failed a fucking urine test. Joey, get off the train and run as far as you can. And considering that Michael is back in jail, I hope you're staying the far, far fuck away from him because Michael doesn't want to be sober. Let's just face facts, okay? He does not want to be sober. Honestly, I think he's one of those dudes that like jail. You have no responsibilities in jail. You get fed 3 meals a day. I mean, I honestly think that he's one of those dudes that like jail and, comes out for a little bit, gets to see his family, gets high, and goes right back in. Revolving door. So I really hope that Joey is staying the far, far fuck away from him. Now, I don't know how I feel about this couple, Brooklyn and Brian. Okay, Brooklyn is having a cookout for him, and she needs him to talk to the two most important men in her life, her little brother and her dad. As you guys may or may not remember, in the first episode that we were introduced to Brooklyn, she talked about how her mom died when she was 10 months old. She had a cerebral hemorrhage, and her and her brothers basically have trust funds, because they sued the hospital, they want a big settlement, and a big concern of her family is that Brian is going to take advantage of her trust fund. Okay, so they're having this cookout. All of Brooklyn's family's there. So first, Brian has a conversation with Brooklyn's little brother, and let me tell you, that did not go well at all. Brooklyn's little brother was asking the questions, and Brian was just mumbling and giving vague answers. So Brooklyn's little brother's like, this shit leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Then daddy comes. Okay. And Brooklyn really, really needs Brian to get along with daddy, or this relationship is not going to work. So they're sitting, having a plate of food. Daddy asks him, "What did you go to jail for?" Aggravated robbery. Oh, so you were stealing. So then he's like, daddy's explaining to Brian, right now, it's like you're still in jail. You have what, 3, 6 months of house arrest? So while you're inside, it's still kind of like you're in jail. You can't go past that mailbox. And he's like, yeah, you're right, sir. And he's like, once your house arrest is over, there's a whole different world outside for you to explore. And I don't want my daughter's heart being broken by you exploring that world. So Brian, he admits that Brooklyn is a homebody. So him being on house arrest for 3 to 6 months will work for 3 to 6 months. But once he's off of house arrest, Brooklyn's probably not going to be too happy. Which tells me that this guy plans on hitting the clubs, probably hitting the strip clubs and doing all that once he's off of house arrest. So yeah, I see this turning into a really big shit show by the end of the season. And yeah, so now moving on to a really big shit show, Q&D. Now, where we last left off with these two, Q, and I could tell you she was under the influence of alcohol. Okay, she was a little tipsy, and when you get drunk, the anger happens to come out, at least in my case. So anyway, Q is not happy that D had the nerve to hug his baby mama Joella. Okay. And Joella strikes a nerve with Q because D has cheated on her previously with Joella. So she saw him hugging her and she saw red. Okay, that's it. She saw red. She had to walk away. So D is like, are you okay? This is about me and you. This ain't about me and her. I'm just being cordial to her because she's my baby mama. She has my kids here. And Q is like, I don't like this. I think this is all disrespectful. Give me my space. D walks away. Q goes back in the house. Her friends are like, you need to just take a breather. And she's like, I know, I'm not going to, let her invade my space and blah, blah. But it's very apparent that she has let Joella invade her space. So basically, Joella's like, I don't understand what all the drama was, which I don't understand what all the drama was either. D gave her a hug. It was his welcome home party. She brought his kids there. What was the drama? I don't get it. And I think Q's expectations of her simply being the Uber driver and dropping the kids off and coming back to pick them up. Um, Girl, get your head out of the clouds. Okay, she's the baby mama. You're the one that decided to be in this relationship with him, and you're going to be stuck with the baby mamas for the duration of your relationship, whether it's for life, whether it's for the next 6 months. You're stuck with the baby mamas. So yeah, considering you're having your own baby daddy drama off screen, but we'll get into that in a second. So Joella doesn't understand all the drama. D doesn't understand all the drama. His daddy tells him, on the other hand, that's exactly the way your mama would have act. And he is totally rooting for Q and D. Big Daddy says, Q was there for him. And, there's no way that you can't root for Q and D. So he turns around and gives D a ring that belonged to his mama to propose to Q2. And D is all about, I'm not ready to get married right now. I don't know if I necessarily want to marry Q, but I know I want to be with her. I want her to relax a little bit. So I'm going to give her the ring so she'll relax. I'm like, dude, your logic makes no sense, but okay. So they get back to the house. She throws all the roses and everything off the bed. She is not in the mood. They climb into bed. And next thing you know, 2 hours later, who is sneaking out of bed to make a phone call to the baby mama? D. But it was a perfectly innocent call. He was calling to check on his sons, and he wants to see his youngest son that Joella didn't bring to the family cookout. But because Q has such insane jealousy, he feels like he has to sneak out the back or the front door to make a phone call while she's asleep. This is going to be a shit show. Because, like I said, if Q is insecure over a hug, imagine if she catches him outside talking on the phone. It could be the most innocent conversation in the world. She is going to flip the fuck out. So, honestly, D is in a no-win situation right now, in my eyes. Okay, I get it. He wants to have a civil relationship with the baby mama for the sake of his kids. He's been away. He hasn't seen his kids in over 2 years, so he wants to have that relationship. The last time he saw his youngest son, he was like 4 months old. So I get it. He needs to maintain a cordial relationship with Joella. But Q is so damn jealous, it's not going to work. It's really not going to work. So they have their little romantic time. Q puts on the sexy lingerie, and we shall see how this continues. Like I said, I think Q needs to worry about her baby daddy drama. First of all, we had no idea that she has not one, but two kids. Okay. So then my question is, where the fuck are her kids? But that's a whole nother story. So baby daddy has been taking Twitter in the past couple of weeks and he's not happy. So he says, I never got closure. So I don't know if I wasn't good enough or if I just wasn't him. Why do you keep me around if you never wanted me in the first place? I'm not going to lie. My feelings are actually hurt, lol. Two kids and 8 years later, she has never looked at me like that. Ever since someone tipped off the baby daddy that Q was on Love After Lockup, he's been tweeting every week. Okay, so I think Q needs to worry about her baby daddy drama and then focus on baby mama drama. Okay, because she has lots of drama going on. And speaking of lots and lots of fucking drama, Brooke and JK. Oh my child. Lots and lots of drama here. Okay. So Brooke is insanely overly jealous. And honestly, seeing JK and how he moves, I don't blame her. So let's start from the beginning. She is pissed off because he is still following Alex on Facebook and all these other random bitches. He's like, I just got my phone back. I haven't even got a chance to get into that account. I love you. It's only you. Then Brooke comes up with this brilliant idea because apparently they live an hour apart. Okay. So Brooke wants to keep her eye on him 24/7. Okay. So she decided this was going to be a brilliant idea for her and her kids to move into his mama's house. And JK is like, are you serious right now? I mean, we had to kick out my mama's roommate, to take over her bed so we could get some boom boom on. He didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. Like, where the hell are you and your kids are going to sleep? You guys had to kick out that poor lady and use the handrails on her bed to get your action on. Like, what the hell are you thinking, Brooke? But she is so insanely jealous. She can't see past the jealousy. And like I said, seeing how JK moves at the end of this segment, I don't fucking blame her. And I'll get into that in a second. So JK's mama, did this whole slideshow with all these pictures, and he was like really getting choked up over it because he realized, while he was sitting in jail, that was the biggest thing, missing out on his family and not being able to spend time with his family. So mama got him a cake, everything was cool. The kids show up at the party. Brooke tried to call her mom to tell her mom not to come and drop the kids off. And her mom was like, I'm 5 minutes away. Then when I realized that they lived an hour apart, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Your mother was 5 minutes away and you were telling her not to drop off the kids after she drove an hour? Like, girl, get yourself together. So then Brooke is telling her mama, that she doesn't know about this. Her mama's like, you need to calm down. The boys get to see JK. They're so happy. So now it's the next day. Okay. Mama took the boys back to the house. And even though she tells Brooke, I'm not their baby daddy, you need to come back home. You need to, stop staying here. Priorities, girl. So, but like I said, she can't see past her jealousy. So, the next day, Brooke is going back home. JK is going to take her out on a little date. He asked mama for some money, and she's like, you better not use it on no stupid shit. And he's like, no, I just want to take her out on a date. So they go to this putt place, and it was a really cute place. And, JK is like, I just want to let you know that even if things don't work out between me and you, I'm always going to be there for the boys. Okay. I'm always going to be that father figure in their life. I'm not going to abandon them, even if things don't work out between me and you. She starts crying. And she, admits during her confessional that she feels like a really shitty mother to her boys because she picked out really shitty baby daddies who are not involved in their life. Now, you want to hope that JK will be the one to step up. Okay. Listening to him, it sounded really good. But I'm going to get to the end of their segment and I'm like, oh, gosh. So JK tries to reassure Brooke that he will always be there for the boys. Then Brooke admits that a lot of her reactions are probably because of a trauma response. The baby daddies, her dad wasn't around much. So, she admits that her crazy reactions are most likely attached to trauma responses. And I'm like, girl, that is a good revelation because your jealousy goes whoop, like my anger goes whoop. Yeah, your jealousy, and you can't see beyond your jealousy. So it was good to see her doing a little self reflection on this episode. And then her and JK go back to the house where they see the kids, and the kids are so excited to see him. They're talking about going fishing and RVing once he gets the ankle monitor off. Then JK asks to have a conversation with Brooke's mama. They go outside. Brooke is inside cleaning up. And he's like, first of all, I want to let you know that I understand that trust isn't automatic, that it has to be earned. And mama's like, yes, preach it. And he's like, secondly, I just want to let you know that even if things don't work out for me and Brooke, I will always be there for the boys. And then mama tells him, well, I understand with your ankle monitor that you're not going to be able to do much, as for coming over here and seeing Brooke. And, I get it. But I'm not going to be baby daddy while she constantly spends the night over there. And JK's like, she wants to be constantly with me because she thinks that if she's not physically there with me, some other bitch is going to be. And that's not true. And mama's like, you hit the nail on the head. So Brooke comes out. What are you guys talking about? They go back in, give the tour of the house, and then it's time for him to leave. This motherfucker, after saying all the right things the whole episode, the conversation with Brooke in the putt place, the conversation with mama, seeing him laying on the couch with the boys, talking about RVing and fishing, he calls Alex his ex. And he's like, oh, I'm just leaving Brooks now. I'm going to come see you tomorrow, okay? And she's like, love you. And he's like, I know. Motherfucker, That's not your baby mama, right? So if you really, really love Brooke and you don't want her to be jealous, you know that breathing the same air as Alex is going to turn her into Puff Not So Magic Dragon. Okay? She is going to be pissed with a capital P. So why are you going to see Alex? Now, Brooke has listed on her Facebook for the longest time that she's single. If you guys follow them on social media, you will notice that they have been posting together a lot this week. I mean, you see here we got JK and Brooke locked in. And someone said on Facebook, they were like, look, girl, his mama just posted another woman and said he has a new girlfriend. I missed something. And it seems like JK's sister, Megan, answered, girl, my mama ain't post shit. So there was a posting going around that she posted a pic of her and JK with another girl. And she said that it was JK's new girlfriend. Now, I believe this is the picture that we're talking about. And I believe that this is a family member. Okay. These two were filming for Life After Lockup this week. Shh. So they are coming back for Life After Lockup. So they are together, but let's see if they stay together by the time they're done filming Life After Lockup. Because we know, at least I've known of many a couples that have lasted the whole journey just to get to Life After Lockup to fucking fall apart. So we shall see. Moving on, we have Alexis, Julius, and Ashley. Actually, Ashley's out of the picture. Okay. And Julius had confessed to Alexis that yes, there was another chick. Yes, I did go to see her yesterday when I told you I was going to go see Tyler. There was nothing romantic between me and her. It was just something from jail. And she's like, yeah. And it rolled over to the outside world and it's affecting me. And he's like, yeah, I know, half-ass apologies. I don't understand what the fuck he's saying half the time anyway. So, Alexis's solution is a tracking device. And he's like, but why? I don't see why, what's the issue? I told you that I just want to go talk to that lady and just to let her know what's going on. And Alexis is like, listen, if there's no issue, if you're not a place where you're not supposed to be at, then why not the tracking device? And Julius mumbled something. I really don't remember, but when production asked him if he was talking to any other woman, he was like, no. Let me tell you, if he could have burst in flames at that moment, he would have. Liar, motherfucking liar. Okay, so Ashley, she's the one that came out with the better part of this deal. So, first of all, a little bit of drama going on the interwebs. Um, Alexis posted this TikTok where it says, point of view, would you ever talk to someone in jail again? And her response is no. Then Julius posted this, I'm too grown to be playing all the time. I need a babe for real. Has their relationship imploded already? If it did, not for nothing, it's really sad that it did, and I'll explain why in a second. So now Julius is trying to call somebody out for telling lies and speaking on his name. I have a feeling it's the ex that's talking all over Reddit, but anyway, the reason why it's really sad if Alexis and Julius broke up is because they had a baby together in March. You see here their registries, the Target registry says Alexius Avery and Julius Parker. So they had a baby girl. They brought a new life into this world, and it looks like their relationship has gone to shit. If you haven't checked out my interview with Ashley, please do, because like I said, she is the one that came out with the better part of this deal. So moving on, we have Will and Courtney. Have you guys ever heard of a glow in the dark sparkling, glitter, bedazzled wedding. I've heard of farmhouse weddings. I've heard of winter wonderland weddings. I've heard beach weddings, but not a glow in the dark, sparkly, trippy, acid trippy type of wedding. Well, that's the kind of wedding dress that Courtney wants to get. And because, they're doing this rushed wedding, Will drops her and her mom off at this dress shop. And she's like, oh my goodness, there is like nothing in here that I would wear. But they finally settle on this dress, which I thought was cute. Okay. But she didn't think it was cute, but she settled on it. Her mom is still kind of iffy about this wedding. Mom is like, the last time I went dress shopping with her was homecoming, and now I'm wedding dress shopping. And her mother's just trying to wrap her mind around all this and be supportive, which is what moms do. So now, um, Will pays for Courtney's dress. They go back to the hotel. Turns out he found the officiant. It's going to be in the wine cellar. And he got to best man when Courtney's sponsor walks in. But that's a whole nother story. So he gets dressed quickly, leaves the room because Courtney doesn't want him to see her getting dressed. Courtney's mom helps her get ready. She's wearing this white form-fitting dress with a leopard coat on top of it because she says that you could see her panties through her dress, and that she looks like she was pimping and pandering instead of doing Grand Theft Auto and identity theft. And like I said, I thought the dress looked cute, and especially with that little leopard coat. Okay, so it wasn't the most traditional of wedding dresses, but it wasn't a traditional wedding. It was literally thrown apart, thrown together in 24 hours or less. So, Will is waiting in the wine cellar with the AA sponsor. I think his name is Billy. And the officiant is there. And Courtney walks in. Will's face lights up. Courtney is like, I know that Will is husband material. And I know I could spend the rest of my life with him. But I only met him in person yesterday. So I'm shitting my pants. And girl, I don't blame you. Okay? So anyway, she walks into the room. Will lights up. And then, they start doing the ceremony. Will you take Courtney to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Courtney, will you take Will to be your lawfully wedded husband? Next time on Love After Lockup. So there you go. That's how it ended. We shall see next week. I'm pretty sure she says yes. So, moving on. Even though they weren't on this episode, Savannah and Bradley, I want to just let Savannah know that she has my thoughts and prayers. Apparently, her mother is facing a cancer battle. Savannah posted this to the gram. I read the caption. I got teary eyed. Savannah, I wish you and your mom the best. Cancer does fucking suck. Did I mention, you guys, that it's 13 days for my son's college graduation? And I'm a really proud mama. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Double check that you are subscribed because YouTube likes to fucking play games and they'll unsubscribe you without you realizing. And like 6 months will go by, you'll be like, where the fuck did Mary go? And YouTube unsubscribed you. Like, share with a friend or 10, and please consider joining my membership. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.